Hello and welcome back to Brandywine Stitches. Today is August 6th, 2024. We officially have our WIPGO numbers and I made my July WIPGO calls by the skin of my teeth, just barely. So, what did I have done for stitching? So, for July, my last call was to do Goddess of the Tides. And I kept putting off because I was busy. I was working a lot. I've been helping family, taking care of my own family, cleaning up my house. And I haven't had time. But I made sure that I got it done. In fact, I think the 29th rolled around. I'm like, I have to get this done. Have to get this done. Don't want to forfeit my big reward at the end of the month. So here's what it looks like, what it will look like when it's done. It throws me off every time I pick this up because there's all this blue, and it looks really blue, but I'm starting in the upper corner. Can't put my hand over the picture. I'm starting in the upper corner, and it's pink, and it throws me off every single time. So this is what it's supposed to look like when she's all done. It's gonna be a really big piece, but right now, easy-ish stitching because we're just up in that pink corner in the background. And if I pull up, here's where I had gotten to previously. Here's where we had last seen it. So my WIPGO goal was to get 400 stitches done, which is 4 blocks. Not that bad. So where does it look like now that we've gotten those 400 stitches? Because yes, we got 400 stitches. And this is what it looks like. It's pretty dark there. If I bring it, whoa, hi, focus, hi. Okay, now we're focused again. So if I bring it back here, it kind of looks a little bit more true. Yeah, with the lighting there, it looks a little bit real. But if I bring it in for a close-up so you can see. So we got 400 more stitches done, which is a really cool. So you can see we've got these 3 squares or lines done here, which is really, really nice. So that's where we're at right now. So I think it's just going to continue into this pink color for most of this first page, and then it will eventually kind of go back to or move into the blue, not go back. It will eventually move into the blue because we'll have like the clouds and the sea, but I think most of this first page is all pink, which is fine. A lot of background, but background is easier to get through because it's less color changes, so I will take it. So I did officially get my 400 stitches done on that, which brings Goddess of the Tides to 0.35%. We're not even 0.5% done. So yeah, just about 1/3% done on Goddess of the Tides, but that officially met my July WIPGO calls. And I also had gotten a bingo. And I had told myself that every bingo I got would be like a $10 or $15 reward. So I ended up having a couple of credits on the Furls Fiber Arts, which is those really cool crochet hooks I showed you guys previously. They had a couple of their colorways that I have been dying for. I couldn't justify them. I'm not starting any other blankets. But I knew I had that $10 off coupon, and they're normally like $25 to $30. So I was like, well, that fits kind of right in with my reward. So I took that, and I bought the Jupiter colorway of the hook. Mine is going to be in a size J. So I just bought those. I finally decided, like yesterday, what I was going to use my reward for. So those just shipped this morning. They will be here for next video. So I will show you the Jupiter colorway of the crochet hook, which is super exciting. It's really, really pretty. So that was my bingo reward. We only had the one bingo so far, so we'll have to see what gets called for September and October. I know August numbers got called. It is number 12 and number 15, and neither of those line up to get a bingo, which is fine. That just means that I'm going to have a lot of bingos at the end of the year. So I will probably not be spending all of that right away at the end of the year. Maybe I'll wait until the new year and I'll just kind of think about what I'm going to get. But what are the WIPGO calls for me, I hear you asking? So for me, number 12 is The Hanged's Tree by Chris Ortega and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Like I said, I'm not really into skeletons and goth and death. I'm not that kind of person. I'm more country, so I like bright and sunny, green and yellow, browns, country nature. But there's just, this one was just beautiful. She's beautiful. She's like dark and mysterious, and she just called to me. I haven't officially started on her yet for August. My goal for her is to get 400 stitches done. Again, I did lower goals for this year's WIPGO because it's my first year doing WIPGO, and I was originally doing another cross-stitch. It's not competition, that's the word I want to say. I was in a cross-stitch group or challenge, another cross-stitch challenge that would kind of help you get through some of your projects. They would give you prompts. And so I just set lower goals. Well, now I'm not really doing that challenge, so when I do next year's board, I can take that into account and maybe put some higher goals down for my board. So 400 stitches on Hanged's Tree is one of my goals, so I think we can do that. The other one, number 15, is Kiss of Wolves. Again, 400 stitches. This was a cross-stitch kit that my mother-in-law got me for Christmas a few years ago by Joy Sunday. And it's really beautiful. It's going to be great once it's stitched. It's just one of those that is very aggravating to stitch. The fabric's very stiff, and there's a lot of confetti and color changes, and it's a paper chart. And I've not been able to get this to scan nicely into my markup RXP, so we're continuing to do it as a paper chart. And it's just very annoying. So I have to do 400 stitches, which if I remember correctly, the last time I brought this out, I had just started on the tip of the wolf's ear, this wolf on this side. So I think we had started the tip of his ear. So hopefully for those 400 stitches, I can get maybe some more of his ear done. Depends on where I stopped. I might not have finished my whole row down, my diagonal row. So if I had finished that row, then obviously we'll be working more on the background, but 400 stitches, if I can press myself to do more, we'll do more. But a Kiss of Wolves is kind of a struggle to deal with. It's not my favorite pattern. But I hear you asking, what else did I work on? Surely this is Goddess of the Tides was not the only thing I worked on in the whole 2 weeks. I wasn't that busy, was I? No, I wasn't that busy. But I didn't do my July stitching for the Storybook sale. So I was trying to catch up on that. So I did get a good portion of that done. I've just started stitching on it in the last couple of days. So I got 283% done, or 283%, 283 stitches, which for month 3, July, would have put it at 76.48%. So not super far off. I didn't take a picture of this one the other day. Still trying to get my life in order and remembering a lot of habits and getting back on track with things. So it's fine. It's not that there wasn't that much. So if I can actually cover it up, honestly. And you can see that, let me get my life in order and take this down. That's where we were. So this was June or May, this was June, and so this is where I got to on July. So you can see we got some more of the books here. Some of these colors do repeat. Some of these are just, that's the only time you're going to see the colors. So I've just been kind of going book by book across until I get over here. If I look at the pattern, it spells out love, and then it's got like L heart VE in this corner here. And then the top of it is going to say romance. So this isn't super far off, so hopefully I can get this done really quickly, and then I can do my WIPGO calls and then move on to August stitching for this. And I think August is going to be going down more with the staircase here. There was the option that you could do the reading nook if you wanted to. I didn't feel like doing that much back stitching and stuff, so I just did the staircase. And there's still a lot of back stitching, but I'll do all of that at the end. Mostly it was the color changes. I wanted something easy to start with. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to hope to finish this section in this week, hopefully. Hopefully I can get that done. So that's all I did for stitching the last couple of weeks. That's it. Stitching on the last 2 days, Sunday and Monday. It's been a very long couple of weeks at work. One of our doctors is out on a training trip. So haven't had another doctor step in to fill that role, but because I work at Banfield, where they try to utilize their LVTs as much as they can, last year or so we had introduced, we call it CVTO, or optimization for credentialed vet tech. Basically, if you're a Banfield client and you have one of our wellness plans, you come in twice a year for what we call a comprehensive exam. So usually that's with the doctor. But Banfield is trying to leverage their technicians as much as possible because they understand that there is a veterinarian shortage in the world, and that there's not enough veterinarians to provide care for all of the pets that need it. With the pandemic, a lot of puppies and kittens got adopted, and then there was a lot of vets that retired, and there's not as many being accepted into vet schools or people that are even wanting to go. And then with the not one more vet going on with the harassment that happens a lot in our field, there's just been a very big shortage of vets. So they're trying to utilize their technicians as much as they can. So we just call them tech comps, where basically you bring your pet in, I'm going to talk to you, or I'm going to have one of our veterinary assistants or one of my free technicians, one of our other technicians. They're not my technicians because I'm not a doctor. So one of the other technicians might come check you in, whoever it is. They'll get your history, find out what concerns you have, and then we'll get all your samples ran. I will do my own exam on your pet, look at the ears, eyes, teeth, feel for lumps and bumps, the whole 9 yards. And then the doctor will do their exam as well. And I will say, hey, Fluffy looks like he had an ear infection. I'll call mom about a cytology. She already approved the cleaning. Or here's what Fluffy's blood work looked like. He's got this one liver elevation, but he's also older and it's been elevated and they just changed their diet. So I kind of tell we kind of do already, but I do it more for the technician comprehensives because I am the doctor, quote, quote. So what ends up happening is that I do all of the computer notes. I certify the exam for the doctor. They'll tell me what they want in the computer. So like say Fluffy's overweight, they'll tell me to put overweight and dental calculus in or whatever else we find. And I will do that for them. And then I'll call the client and be, hey, Fluffy looks great. Here's our concerns. Brush his teeth, dental cleaning. He's ready to go. And then they don't have to do the only thing the doctor has to do is look at the pet with me and then tell me what what to tell the client or what to certify. So I've been doing a lot more of those to kind of help pick up that slack with the doctor on vacation the last couple of weeks. So it's meant a lot of busy days where I'm staying late, which is not a bad thing. I'm not opposed to it being one of the leaders in the hospital because I am the lead technician. So I am one of the leaders in the hospital where I work. So I'm not opposed to staying late and helping. It cuts into my stitchy time, which is what it is. I knew that when I picked up this hobby, being a vet tech, it's not that big a deal. When the kids are in bed, I do all my stitching. Eventually they'll probably be in sports and I'll have to sit in the stands and be bored and I don't want to stare at my phone for however long we're there. So I'll bring projects with me. So it'll work itself out. It's fine. It's fine. Life happens. We found a way. So I've just been busy the last couple of weeks at work and I haven't had a lot of time to stitch. I've been very tired. So I was, as I've previously stated, diagnosed with ADHD and put on Adderall for it, which Adderall is working great for me, except for when my feminine friend comes to visit every month. And then it's like I'm not on Adderall. So I've been very tired because it's that time. So I'm very tired lately, and I've been wanting to sleep in. And I'm unfocused on things. But we're getting through that, and we'll get back on track. It's just a phase. Life goes on. So that's all the cross stitching I've done. We've finally had we've had D&D, so I was able to do more work on my Lego Titanic. So last time I had just had put the sides on, the red and black, and a little bit of the white, and I was like, all right, we're going to keep going up. So this is where I'm at right now. So you can see I've got, so we were about here last time. So I've done all of this. This was about 2 bags worth of building, which is really cool. So now we've got, this is the A and B deck and C deck. These are the promenades. And then we're getting the deck. And that's how I know this is A deck. And also because if you know anything about the Titanic, you know that this is a promenade. And on the Olympic, this was open. Titanic was screened in. They're not going to give us screens. It's just not going to look right. So we have the open promenade here on A deck. And then we have the deck. And this hole is where funnel 3 is going to go, which is what's next. So we're supposed to have D&D on Friday. So if we have D&D, I'll get the funnel built and put on so I can show you guys next time. But I might just build the funnel anyways on Friday, whether or not we have D&D, so that way I can make progress on this. Because once the funnel's done on here, it looks like there's going to be some lifeboats. I can kind of tell based on these bricks here. These ones tend to be where the lifeboats sit, so it looks like I'm going to have a few lifeboats to build, and that'll be like the final bag of this section. But we will get this done. So the funnel, I will make sure the funnel is done this week, and then maybe if it's just the funnel and the lifeboats, maybe the lifeboats will be done next week if they're not done this week, so that hopefully this section will be entirely done for you guys for next video, and then it can be moving on to the 4th funnel section. We're so close. So close. I can feel it, and I can just see her back there. She's waiting for her 4th funnel. I'm so excited. So there's that one. I did work on a little bit else this week. So I was working on that baby blanket. I was really hoping to have a section finished, but it's taking a lot more focus than I wanted. My daughter is also trying to... Can I move my stuff first, kitty cat? My daughter is also trying to like steal my iPad to look at things, and so honestly, sometimes I'm just like, here, take it, just go look at pictures, whatever. It's all cross-stitch Disney pictures that I want to make into patterns. So I'm like, just go look at them. Or my son's trying to steal it. And sometimes it's not worth the fight a lot of the times. So I'm just like, here, take it, whatever. Especially with my son, because I'm like, just go sit on potty, take it with you. But then that means I don't have my iPad for the graph of the Jurassic Park blanket. And this isn't like a easy repetitive pattern, so I don't have it memorized, and this is the first time I'm doing cross corner to corner, so that makes it a whole new ball game. So for a reminder, this is where it is supposed to be, what is supposed to be when we're done. I'm working on this bottom piece right here, which says life finds a way. It looks like theirs is in brown. I'm doing mine in black and white, and I've got way pretty much done, and we're starting on A. So this is really cool. I've got maybe, it looks like about a quarter of it done, probably almost a third, which is really, really cool, but also making me realize that this blanket's gonna be huge. This baby is gonna have this blanket until he's an adult, and I love it. So, progress. So here is what we've got. So we can see way, and then there's the start of my A. This is actually stitching up really, really cool. Yeah, I know there's a lot of ends to weave in. I am the kind of person that will just weave all those in at the end because I don't want to make a mistake and have to rip it all out and deal with unweaving those ends. So I just weave it all in when it's done, because then I know it's done. I didn't mess it up. I can't mess it up anymore. So I will weave all of those in when we are done with it. This is So cool. I'm loving this. This style of crocheting is actually really, really cool. It's a really nice way to color work, and I always thought it was this really intricate way to crochet. I thought it was going to be really difficult. It's actually not that difficult. It does take some starts, and it's not a pattern by me if I haven't restarted it like 4 times. That's how you know I've done it, because I've started it over like 4 or 5 times. So I obviously have had to start this over a few times to get the hang of it, but it's working now. I've got it. It's really, really easy. It's intuitive. So I like this style. I already know I got to redo my Evolution blanket when I get done with the Jurassic Park blanket. So I'm probably going to remake those graphs and do them as corner to corner, because it's going to look a lot nicer. It's going to look cleaner. It's probably just going to be a lot easier to stitch as well. So I will worry about making those graphs again when I am done with the Jurassic Park blanket. So that's where we're at. We're back to doing our podcast, our Harry Potter podcast on Thursdays. I almost said Saturdays, but that's not right. And I can keep working on Supernatural. So last time I was telling you that I had made some good progress on it, and then I lost my paint. My husband found it because he was deep cleaning our basement where I was keeping my Supernatural car project. And that's where we have D&D, at this table. So he was cleaning up the basement for D&D, and he was picking up some stuff off the floor, and he ended up finding my paint underneath my china cabinet, which you can't see, but right here out of camera view is my giant china cabinet. And it doesn't sit perfectly, like it's not a full sit on the floor. It's on legs, so you can get underneath it. And he ended up finding it under there. I was like, oh, thank God. It's not broken. It's found. It's not entirely missing. The last time we did a podcast, we were doing a commentary on Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone while we were watching the movie. So that will go up probably in a few weeks. I don't know. I think we got a couple more chapters to post still. And then I called off last week because I was exhausted. I was grumpy because Mother Nature sucks, especially if you're a woman. So I said, I can't do podcasts. I can't focus right now. Like, let's just pause for the week. So I didn't work on the Supernatural car, and it's definitely not something I work on with my kids home because that paint and that glue and that paint thinner all smell so strong. And I don't want my kids being exposed to it more than I have to, which is why I only work on it in little bits at a time. So I didn't work on it at all the last couple of weeks. But I have my black paint now, and we're supposed to be doing podcast in a couple of days. We will start reading chapter 2, I think is what chapter 2, book 2. I think our plan is we're going to start book 2. So I can start working on the car again. Not that far off, so hopefully, like I said, we can still be done by, I think end of August was my goal. I think we can do it. I feel like we can do it. So that's that. My goal for the baby blanket is I would like to have that Life Finds a Way section done definitely by the end of August, and I'm going to pull it up again. Maybe start on the next section. This section. I can't do this. This section, and at least maybe get that claw done. And that hopefully have that done by August. So we're going to do it in sections. We're not going to just do the whole blanket at one time because they're separated in the PDF. So it would just be easier to do them all individually, and then I don't have to have like 1,000 colors all tangled around each other and 1,000 colors in my bag, and let's just take the colors I need at one time. So one section at a time. So we're going to do the Life Finds a Way section. Hopefully get that done in the next couple of weeks, and then start on the Raptor Claw, and hopefully have the Raptor Claw finished by the end of August for those 2 projects. And then get my WIPGO goals done and get my Storybook Sal up to date. So it means getting July and August done, which that should be easy. July and August seem very easy stitching. The Storybook Sal isn't really difficult stitching. It's blocky, there's a lot of color changes, but it's blocky. It's just, I want to do it. I got to make sure I do it with time to spare for everything else. So hoping that I can get caught up on a lot of that stuff. Kids are home with me all this week because their grandparents are on vacation enjoying a break while they are here in Michigan. So hopefully the plan is that I'm going to get a lot of my cleaning list done and my organizing list done and the things that I need to do for the house and everything and the things that I've been meaning to do. So just nobody gets offended. Nobody gets the idea that I have to clean the entire house. No, I make my husband do some things too. I just like certain things done a certain way. And a lot of my tasks that I've assigned myself were deep cleaning. So we're moving the oven and scrubbing behind it. We're going to move the fridge out and sweep and mop underneath it. And I don't think my husband wants to go through all of that. So I assign him the simpler things, like he does the lawn. He does the laundry for me. If I'm working, I usually say, hey, can you change the sheets? But he's been doing that a little bit too. So I do have him help with some things around the house, and he is aware that I do a lot of the tasks. I can see some people getting fired up about equality and all that. No, it's just I want things done a certain way, so I've assigned them to me. So with the kids being home all week, the hope is that I can get a lot of those things done, so that way by the end of the night, I can focus more on stitching. And then for the next couple of weeks, I don't have to worry about as much cleaning when I get home from work, and I can just focus on stitching. So that'll be nice. So that's my plans. So that's my August plan. So we'll see you guys back in 2 weeks. I want to have the bottom section of the blanket done in that time frame, and at least July's stitching of the Storybook Sal. Let's say we have both of those done, and whichever one of my WIPGOs I want to start on. Excuse me. Let's say we get at least a start on those, because if it's Kids of Wolves, it's not going to get done in 2 weeks. It's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to do like 3 stitches here and there, so maybe I'll do Hangage Tree first, because I know I like it, and I can get it done. So yeah, blanket section, Storybook July's section, and Hangage Tree. I can get those done in 2 weeks and have time to do all of the other things I need to do around the house. So there's a kitty on my lap. She was begging for my attention, so that's why I keep looking down. So those are my plans. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks. 2 weeks puts us, because I know school's getting ready to start, so that'll put us a week before school starts. Hopefully I won't be rushing around getting last minute school supplies, so stay tuned for all of that joyous news. Yay, school. School starts in August here for us. Yeah, so that's that. That's what's new. A lot of rain. So hopefully we're all going to stay dry, not roast to death with a 90-degree heat, and then we're going to get a lot of stitching done. So those are my plans. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Keep stitching, and I will see you guys then.